is Chivani Anna Jeswell. Student ID is 2025818844.
Hello, my name is Clara Tiffany Anna Albert and my student ID is 2025858518.
Good morning, Madam Tai. My name is Orlia Arlene Anna Rentap. My student ID is 2025854786.
My name is Emily Anna Stephen. My student ID is 2025850222.
Task 1 is talk about how compounded interest work. So today we will look at how Ronald investment grew over time using compounded interest. In January 2022, Ronald invested in a unit trust. Interest rate is 4.3% per year, compounded every 6 months, and after 9 years, the investment grew to 30,000 ringgit. So question A is, what was Ronald's initial investment? We're going to use formula S equal to P times 1 plus I the power of N. We know that S is future value, which is 30,000 ringgit, and P is initial investment, that's unknown, and we're gonna find I interest per period and N number of period. We know that I equal to K over M, so I is 0.043 over 2, and N is equal to M times T, so N equal to 18. By using the formula S equal to P times 1 plus I and the power of N, 30,000 equal to P times 1 plus 0.043 over 2 and the power of 18, we're gonna get 20,456 ringgit and 46 cents. That was Ronald's initial investment. So for the question B, I will explain how Ronald reinvested his fund and calculate the maturity value of 2 unit trust investment. Ronald initially had 30,000 ringgit and later at 5,500 ringgit, making a total of 35,500 ringgit. He split this amount equally into 2 unit trust fund. For KST equity fund, there is 4.98% interest and compounded quarterly, while for WMS conservative funds fund, there is 5% interest and compounded monthly. The investment period is 10 years from January 2029 until January 2039. First, split the investment total amount 35,500 ringgit divided by 2. So each fund gonna have 17,750 ringgit. For the KST equity fund calculation, we're gonna use formula S equal to P times 1 plus I and the power of N, where is P equal to 17,750 ringgit, K equal to 0.0498, and for the N is 4, I is K over M, so 0.0498 over 4, and N is M times T equals to 40. So for the KST equity fund calculation, S is equal to 29,116 ringgit and 67 cents. Next, for WMS conservative fund calculation, we're going to use the same formula like KST fund equity fund calculation, which is S equal to P times 1 plus I and the power of N. For the P is same, 17,000 ringgit and 17,750 ringgit, and for the K is 0.05. For M is 12, I equal to K over M, and it is 0.05 over 12. For the N is M times T, so N is 120. So we're gonna get S equal to 29,234 ringgit and 42 cents. Next, for the total maturity value, we're gonna plus both of them. 29,160 ringgit 70 cents plus 67 cents plus 29,234 ringgit and 42 cents equal to 58,351 ringgit and 9 cents. So after 10 years, Ronald investment grows to 58,351 ringgit and 9 cents.
So for this question, I will explain how to compare 2 investment funds and calculate the effective interest rate, and also how to find the total interest earned. For the KST equity fund, the nominal rate is 0.0498 and it is compounded 4 times a year. So we substitute into the formula 1 plus R equal 1 plus 0.0498 divided by 4 raised to the power of 4. After calculating, we get 0.050737758 minus with 1. And then the answer is 0.0508, but we times it with 100. So the effective rate R is 5.08%. This means the real return for this fund in 1 year is 5.08%. Next, for the WMS conservative fund, the nominal rate is 0.05 and it is compounded monthly. So M equal 12. We substitute into the same formula. 1 plus R equal 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12 raised to the power of 12. This gives us 0.0512 and times it with 100. So R equal 5.12%. This means the WMS fund gives real return of 5.12% per year. Since 5.12% is higher, the better investment option is the WMS conservative fund. Next, we calculate the total interest earned. We use the formula interest equals S minus P, where is S the future value and P is the principal. Based on the values provided, to get a total interest, we should minus 58,351 ringgit 9 cents with 20,456 ringgit and 46 cents, then plus with 5,500 ringgit. When we add these values, the total interest earned is 32,394 ringgit and 63 cents.
Question number 2. Our first task is question 2A. Calculate the total accumulated amount of the college fund after 10 years. This is a compound interest problem where an initial principal, P, grows over time. The formula for the future value is S. First, we list the given values. Principal is 25,000, interest is 3.1%, which is, then we have to times 100, which will be 0.031. And the interest compounded monthly, which is M, is 12 and time is 10 years. Next, we calculate the variables we need for formula, the periodic interest rate I and the total number of periods N. For I, we need to put K, which is 0.031 over M, which is 12. For N, we need to times M T, which is 12 times 10 equals to 120. Now, we plug these values into future value formula, which is S equals to P bracket 1 plus 0.031 over 12 bracket power 120. Calculating this gives us total accumulated amount at which is S after 10 years, which is approximately RM 47,481 cents. Now, for question 2B, find the amount Nur Aminah can withdraw every month from the fund while she is in college. This is an annuity problem. The fund acts as a present value A that is being depleted by equal regular payment R. The accumulated amount from part A, which is 47,781 cents, is now our present value A for annuity. The formula to find R when the present value of an annuity formula, which is A equals to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus I over I bracket out of negative N. Here are the values for the withdrawal periods. A is 47,781 cents, K would be still 0.031 and it is compounded monthly, so M is 12. The T for time is 3 years. After keying in the values into the formula, we can see that the calculation shows the monthly withdrawal R is approximately 1,389 ringgit and 30 cents.
First, the cash price of the item is 65,000 ringgit. The buyer needs to pay a down payment of 15% of the cash price. When I calculate 15% of 65,000 ringgit, the down payment becomes 9,750 ringgit. Next, I subtract the down payment from the cash price. 65,000 ringgit minus 9,750 ringgit gives a remaining balance of 55,250 ringgit. This amount is the loan that needs to be financed. To find the monthly payment, I use the following information. The annual interest rate is 4%. Interest is charged monthly, so there are 12 payments in 1 year. The loan will be paid over 7 years. This means the total number of monthly payments is 84 payments. Using this value, I substitute the loan amount of 55,250 ringgit into the annuity formula to calculate the monthly installment. After solving the equation, the monthly payment comes out to 755 ringgit and 20 cents. So, the final answer for the monthly repayment is 755 ringgit and 20 cents. Okay, next, for part B, we are required to find the total interest charge. I use the formula I equal NR minus A. So, I substitute the value 84 payments multiplied by 755 ringgit and 20 cents minus 55,250. This means the total interest charge over the whole period is 81,886 ringgit and 80 cents. We want to know the total amount she has paid after 6 payments. I use the formula for the sum of an annuity. 755 ringgit 20 cents times open bracket 1 plus 0.04 over 12 power 6 minus 1 and then close the bracket, all divided by 0.04 over 12. After calculating, this means after 6 payments, she has paid 4,569 ringgit and 30 cents.
For C3, we find the balance of the loan using the annuity formula.
Okay, 755 ringgit 20 cents times open bracket 1 minus open bracket 1 plus 0.04 over 12 close bracket power negative 24 and then close the bracket and all divided by 0.04 over 12. So the amount is 17,319 ringgit and 94 cents. Find the total interest charge. We take the total paid minus principal repaid. Okay, first total paid equals 16 multiplied by 755 ringgit and 20 cents equals 45,312 ringgit. Next, principal repaid. Principal repaid equals the loan amount minus the balance 55,250 ringgit minus 17,319 ringgit and 94 cents equals 37,859 ringgit and 6 cents. First charge is interest equals 45,312 ringgit minus 37,859 ringgit and 6 cents equals 7,452 ringgit and 94 cents.